Here we are once again with assistant coach and assistant GM Dave Johnson of the Cowichan Valley Capitals as they get set to play host to the visiting Alberni Valley Bulldogs. A bit of a roster move in the Capitals lineup. Brett Selden coming over from Coquitlam. Explain how that transaction went about and what you see in this young man.
Well, an opportunity presented itself yesterday for us to acquire him off of waivers. Coquitlam had a deal for him to go back to Ontario where he's played the previous 2 seasons, and we just felt it was a great opportunity. We, like with every move, we do our due diligence in terms of background checks and talk to other coaches and past coaches that players have, and everything that we got in regards to him was excellent. So 6'3", 200-plus pound defensemen that can play are hard to find, and we felt it was something that we had to go do.
So he's a defenseman, but you've got him, I noticed on the roster sheet, on the forward line. Is Carver Everson back in the lineup now? And
yeah,
I see Troy Patterson sitting.
Yeah, we're going to dress 7D tonight and go down a forward. So, just to give Carver a little bit, we don't want to run him as hard as we normally would with him being off as long as he's been. So we really felt it was the right move tonight to dress 7D.
Okay, so then, because when I looked at his numbers as a forward, 21 games, 1 assist, 19 penalty minutes, I'm thinking, I know what the fans are going to wonder. And now that it's clarified he's actually a D-man, that makes a lot more sense for us in way of a roster move and whatnot. Obviously, you don't expect to get Alex Theriault back, although I understand he was injured in Victoria the other night when they were playing down there. And Ryan Haynes is, he's got a goal and he's a -2, so he's still holding his own up there as well. Hopefully, that'd be one player that you would like to get back from WHL.
Well, yeah, undoubtedly. How would we not want our leading scorer and all-around great guy back into our program? But we need to build as if we're not getting either of those players back, and I think we're doing a good job. I think Dane Gibson's been a great addition to our lineup. I think that Dane's going to be a very high-end BC Hockey League player, and we're real lucky. I think we got very lucky getting him. Max Moyes is going to go again here for us tonight, and it's hard to find pure goal scorers, and Max fits that mold. Having said that, I think the thing that impressed us the most about Max last week in his game with us was his compete level. He had a number of real good, solid body checks. He never gave an inch to anybody out here. So we're going to expect him to have another good game for us.
The other thing I noticed about Max last week was his responsibility in the defensive zone. So he plays both ends of the ice very well, and I thought both he and even Jordan Levesque, neither one of them looked out of place in the Capitals roster as APs. Back to the lineup tonight with Carver Everson back, seeing limited ice time in that. You got to be happy with the play of Jarrett Brown, who struggled for a couple games there but seems to have picked his game back up.
Yeah, Brownie he's a real special hockey player, and great kid, great work ethic, but he has a skill set that not many players in this league have. His true understanding of the game from a defensive perspective is really unparalleled. He's probably as good as anybody that I can remember in terms of using his stick defensively. His ability to put sticks in puck lanes is just unquestionably one of his strongest assets. He shoots the puck like a pro. So you're right. We have very high expectations. We believe he's a guy that will be a cornerstone of this franchise going forward, and he has been real good for us.
Not only him, but I look at the Capitals' defensive core now, and it's pretty fair to say they're set for the next 2-3 years on the back end, with especially Ryland Bechtel, too. He's not a big kid, but, man, can he hit?
Mm-hmm. Well, Bex is, I would say you'd have to give him a real run at being our most consistent defenseman this year. He's just the same night in and night out. A lot of games you don't notice him, and that's probably the ultimate compliment you can give a defenseman, is when you don't notice them, it means they're not doing anything wrong. And I think that happens a lot with Ryland. And you're right, I'll tell you, he's not a real big, tall guy. He is in incredible condition, extremely muscular, and hitting's, it's a skill, and he has that skill. It's the timing component, the explosiveness of when you make contact, and he has it down to an art, and he punishes guys.
And not only that, but he wins the battles on the boards, like you say, with his conditioning and whatnot. Another defenseman that's young, Ryan Coughlin. There's a kid that came back from the Portland Winterhawks camp this year, will likely go again next year. But if he decides to stick with the Capitals, he's another great young defenseman coming up.
Yeah, you know what? Our scouting staff has done a great job of identifying good young defensemen, and they're hard to find. They really are. It's such a difficult position to play at the high levels, and our organization has done a tremendous job of going out and identifying players that we think can come in here and play for us. But that's one thing. But then to go out and go against, you look at Jared Brown, for example. He was the captain of that Leduc Major Midget team that hosted the Air Canada Cup. So every top junior A team in Western Canada was trying to recruit him. We got him. So I think that speaks volumes for the quality of the organization and the quality of the people that we have out doing their jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. On the forward end, you've got a couple young guys. Hayden Bear still on track to possibly return in Prince George. But Kai Cather's a little slow out of the gates, but he still seems to be working hard in that offensive zone.
Yeah, Kai's a hard-working big boy. And you know what? He's a 1995 birth year that is just not caught up to his body yet. But he's getting better every week, and that's really, at the end of the day, that's how we measure young players like that, is if they continue to improve every week. And Kai has, he's works hard, and he's improved. He's still got a long ways to go, but he's going to be a very good player in this league for a number of years.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree totally. Tonight's opponent, the Alberni Valley Bulldogs. 3 previous meetings, the original shootout 8-7, then the Capitals win 6-4, then they drop a 3-1 decision. Tonight, here at the Big Stick, they're coming off an emotional, hard-fought, double overtime victory, thanks to Michael Jung on the penalty shot in the second overtime. How has the team been working throughout the week?
Well, it's been a great week. Obviously, the energy's been excellent. Coming off, we needed that win. Like that was, you don't want to make it bigger than it is, but we needed that. That was something that the hockey gods needed to give us, and they did. And they gave it to us because our players earned it. Our players have put in the work. We've had struggles, unquestionably, but our players have continued to come to work every day, and they got rewarded with that victory. We had a great week of practice, great energy, great work ethic, and we just need to get that feeling. It's amazing when athletes get on a roll, what happens to their confidence goes through the roof, and all of a sudden we start doing things, and we need to go on a roll without any questions. We need to win a bunch of games over the next several months, and we're just going to try and carry that energy into tonight.
And looking at the standings, 11 points out of a playoff spot, but look at the number of games in hand the Capitals have over the rest of the teams in this conference, and it's just incredible. Anything could happen, and coming off, get a few wins going into the Christmas break, get the Christmas break, and it's a whole new season after the return of that, and anything can happen then, especially with these games in hand for the Caps.
Well, it's obviously, we're very aware of that, and I agree wholeheartedly with everything you just said. But we have those games in hand. We need to take advantage of that, and those need to be victories for us. We need that. Every one of those games in hand needs to be a 2-point game for us, and if we can do that, you're right. We're right back in the hunt, and we're so loaded on the back end of our schedule that if we can go into that back half of our schedule with a lot of games, with confidence, and who knows, right? And that's the beauty of this game, is who knows. You get on a roll and start doing good things, who knows? And that's, we believe that. We believe we've got the kids that are putting in the work, and they're going to get rewarded, focused on the process, and we just want our guys to go out and first and foremost outwork their opposition every night, and we think we'll get bounces, and we think we'll get wins.
Excellent. The keys for tonight's game for the Caps to be successful against these Bulldogs.
We need to have better starts. This is such a great building, and tonight in the pregame talk we talked about what it's like in Alberni when they have a quick start. That rink gets electric. We haven't taken advantage of that. This rink is electric when we're going, and we need to come out of the gate and get this building going so it can become a distinct advantage to us. So we're going to really focus on that first 10 minutes. We need to be physical. We need to just play a simple Capitals blue-collar hockey game, and those are the keys for us tonight.
Excellent. Thanks, Dave. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks, all.